Hey, what's going on, everybody? Who be 186 back again with another video. And as you can see here, this is a little meme I made. Obviously Saturday was a big night, in MMA history. Chris Weidman, knocked out Anderson Silva to win the UFC middleweight title. UFC middleweight championship. Now, if you saw the fight, you know what happened before then. You understand why I have this. I made this meme. Now, before I start, let me tell you that I am a huge Anderson Silva fan. I'm a big time Anderson Silva fan. I didn't think Chris Weidman stood a chance in hell in beating Anderson Silva. Even though Chris Weidman, he's a very good fighter. Obviously, he's the future of MMA. Obviously, but I didn't think he had the skill level to beat Anderson Silva, and I don't think he fought guys who were credible enough for me to believe that he could beat Anderson Silva. You know what I mean? So I didn't think that, I didn't think Weidman stood a chance. Now, for anyone who watched the fight, they know what happened. They know what happened before. They know what happened during. For anyone who didn't see the fight, I'm gonna paint you a little picture. Obviously, I can't show the video of what happened because Zuffa and UFC, they'll flag the video down like real quick. But Anderson Silva was he's been champion for about, what I would probably say, 7 years. He's been undefeated in UFC. He's had some close calls, obviously, with the major one. I mean, to be honest with you, really the only one was his first fight with Chael Sonnen, where he basically lost, pretty much won the fight in the last 30 seconds of the fight. Pretty much won the fight with an arm bar, well, not arm bar, triangle. So, but other than that, he's been extremely dominant for years. And what he tends to do from time to time, Anderson Silva does, is he tends to taunt his opponents by putting his hands down, doing a little bit of showboating, kind of taunting the opponent. And the stuff that when he does that, the fans like it, they cheer, whatever, or some of them boo. But but he it's kind of it's like a strategy for him. And it didn't bit him in the ass like it did here. And he was doing the showboating. His hands were down. I mean, the showboating that he did on this time was over the top. Before that left connected, I think Chris Weidman, I guess, grazed him with a right or left, I don't remember, and he kind of and Anderson kind of pretended to stumble on his feet. I thought that was funny, but yeah, but a couple seconds later he got knocked out. And overall, the question that I posed in this video is this: did Anderson Silva hurt his did Anderson Silva hurt his reputation? Did he ruin his legacy with this loss? And I have to say, I think he did. I think he really did hurt his legacy. Now, again, I'm a big Anderson Silva fan. I think he is. I mean, he's the best fighter I've ever seen in the UFC, in MMA history. He's the best I've ever seen. Right? If that, it's just my opinion. But he clowned around. He was showboating. He acted like a jackass, and he got knocked out, and got exactly what he deserved. That's why this phrase, when keeping it real goes wrong, that's when it applies here. And actually, I got this phrase from the Chappelle Show. Basically, just when you're doing something that you're normally accustomed to doing, when you're keeping it real, and sometimes it goes wrong, just like it happened here. Now, as far as I know people are talking about a rematch and stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I would pay to see. I didn't watch this fight live. I actually got a chance to watch it afterwards because I had to work. But there's no doubt in my mind, I am watching the rematch live. If there is a rematch, I don't think Anderson Silva deserves one. I personally, he killed his legacy with this loss. This is one thing. If you're going to lose, if you lose basically by just, you get caught, or or whatever, that's one thing. But when you're doing all the showboating, all the bullshit that he was doing, and that it hurts your legacy. And you could tell when he was being interviewed after the fight, when he was being interviewed in the cage. I mean, he got booed mercilessly. He got booed, and you got and that for a guy who's been champion for 7 years, a guy who has delivered some of the most incredible not only performances, the most incredible performances in UFC history. You know what I mean? Like that knockout that he had against Forrest Griffin, where basically he leaned back and punched him, and he destroyed Forrest Griffin. And the knockouts he's had against Chris Weidman, what's that dude's name? Was James Irving? I forgot. He's had so many amazing. Obviously, the front kick on Vitor Belfort, legendary, and to have all that, all that just goes away because you decide to showboat, and you get caught. And again, it doesn't take away what he did in the past, but it hurts his legacy. I think it really does hurt his legacy a lot. And I don't think he deserves. I don't think he deserves a rematch. The only reason why Dana wasn't going nuts about it, like he did, the other time where Anderson Silva showboated like this, like what he did with Chris Weidman, was against Damian Maia. It was in I think it was Dubai, I think, and Anderson, it was the main event. It was him versus Damian Maia. Both both men Brazilians. Damian Maia is a top class jiu-jitsu practitioner, and Anderson Silva for the most part dominated the fight. The problem was that he was doing all this showboating, taunting. At one point he actually ran behind the referee and hid behind the referee, which I thought that was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie. But after that fight, Dana White was so pissed off at him, at Anderson Silva, that he decided to not even go into the cage and give Anderson Silva the belt. He gave it to I think the matchmaker Joe Silva, and Joe Silva gave Anderson. They do the customary putting the belt on the winner, and and Dana White wouldn't even do that, and then even threatened to fire him if he did that again. And then he does this, and he doesn't. The only thing that he's thinking about is the rematch, is the big money rematch, which I understand, but it shows a severe lack of consistency on his part. And then furthermore, Anderson Silva even said that he's not interested in a rematch. He said nah, it could be he might change his mind soon. He might change his mind, but he said not only in the cage, but also in the press conferences afterwards, that he was not interested in a rematch. And Dana White has said in the past that when you hear guys say that stuff like, "Oh, I'm retired, I don't want to fight anymore, I don't want this, and I don't want that," that means they're done. So it shows a complete lack of lack of consistency on his part. And I like Dana White. I'm a big fan of Dana White, but there are times when he's full of shit, and this is definitely the time. Now again, like I said before, I don't think he deserves a rematch. But if he does, I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm definitely going to take off work to watch it. So definitely. But my overall point in this video is that he doesn't deserve, he ruined his legacy with this performance. And listen, I'm not one of those guys who are against showboats and guys who are doing this and that. I'm not 100% against it, but when you do what you did, you rob the fans of a competitive fight. You rob Chris Weidman of what I think was and he has to hear all this bullshit about, oh, it was fixed, and this and that, and people taking away his victory, which is bullshit. You know, he doesn't deserve that. You know what I mean? Like, and you ruined it for Chris Weidman. You ruined it for your fans, especially. And there were lots of Brazilians at that event in Las Vegas. Though there were a lot of Brazilians there cheering for him and stuff like that. And then he acts a fool and he gets caught. That's what happens when you act a fool. When you get caught, you have to face the consequences. And I don't know, like, me personally, I don't know if the fight's gonna happen. You know, if it does, I'm definitely, trust me, I'm there. I'll be there. But you know, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. This is Silva 186. I'm out of here.